Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a look at the secret rares from Pokémon Go. The set is out in Japan now. It's past midnight on Friday. They're a few hours ahead of us. And that means that the set is out. We know all the secret rares, and it is, in a lot of ways, what we expected it was going to be. But there's always a few surprises, and I, for one, am delighted that we can see them. So, starting off then, we've got all of your Pokemon. So we've got a bunch of full arts. Alolan Executor gets itself a full art. Remember, there is also an alternate art of Alolan Executor. For us, it's in the Battle Decks. In Japan, it's a promo. It's in the promo packs you get when you buy the set. But regardless, there is another one of these, and that's rather lovely. No special art. Unlike the Mewtwo, which does get itself both a full art and a special art. Now, I am going to mention as we go through a few differences that we see here between the English and Japanese releases, because I do think they are very relevant. Remember that the full art version in English is not going to be in the set. It is only going to be found as a promo in the Elite Trainer box. Either the regular or the Pokemon Center exclusive, either is fine. But it is worth pointing out that that is not going to be a card in the set. Of course, Mewtwo also has an alternate art card that can be found in the V Battle Deck, and only in the V Battle Deck. And I've had the alternate art there on the screen for a little while already. And look, I've said this before when it was revealed. Love the fact that it looks like it came out of Pokemon Go. Don't like the fact that it's a 3D render card. I would much rather prefer they gave it to one of their amazing artists that they use and told them to go nuts. Still a cool card, rather it wasn't a 3D artwork. The only other Pokemon V that actually gets itself an alternate art here is Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr gets both a full art and an alternate art, special art, call it what you will. And again, my thoughts on this are basically exactly the same as my thoughts on Mewtwo. Love the card in terms of the design. Really, really wish that it was drawn by someone like Haganasuke, Okacheke, Mitsuhiro Rita, Kuki Saito, whoever, rather than being a 3D rendered card. Still cool, but it could be better. And if that's the last of the secret rares, then that means that the other Pokemon V get full arts. So we got Melmetal, and we had to have Melmetal, right? Melmetal is, the mascot of Pokemon Go, really. Do remember there is an alternate art of this one, which came around, or is coming around in the V Battle Deck. Not a special art, but there is an alternate art version of it. We've then got Dragonite, which also has an alternate art version, which is coming around as a promo in that Premier Collection. The really cool one. You know the one I mean. It's awesome. Seriously, that one looks really, really cool. I'm a big fan of that one. It's a $50 product, which is not cheap. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Might just be worth it. And then we've got a full art of Slacking. And do remember I showed you that one the other day. That was one of the ones that was pulled from the box that the dudes on the Japanese YouTube channel actually went and opened. And is really rather cool. Now moving over into the full art supporters, there are 4 of them, including Candela, Spark, and Blanche. That is to say, your leaders of the Pokemon Go teams, or whatever, however you want to phrase it. Now, what is very important here, these full arts are not in our set. Now, again, I can't guarantee 100%, but it's overwhelmingly likely that they won't be. And the reason is they are in no special collections. And we've talked about this recently. I don't need to go through it properly again. Basically, when these full art cards end up in promo packs, they don't end up in the set. So the full arts of those, they're all cool, they're all lovely. They're not good cards, but they all do look pretty stunning. If you want the full arts of those in Japanese, you're going to have to cross your fingers and hope you pull them. If you want to get them in English, just buy the special packs. You'll be fine. And then there is, as I showed you the other day, Professor's Research Willow, which, interestingly enough, is going to be the only full art card that we, or full art supporter at least, that we actually see in the English set. which isn't that unusual. Over in Celebrations, there was exactly one full art supporter. It was Professor's Research again. This time it was Oak. I pulled 3 playsets of that. Will I pull 3 playsets of Willow? Cool if I did. And then, of course, as we're talking about the supporters, we might as well mention that there are Rainbow Rare versions of all of them as well. So there are Rainbow Rare versions of all of the 3 team leaders. And you'll notice that the artwork here is exactly the same as it was on the full arts. The only difference here is that it's rainbow-fied, not full art. Although, honestly, if you look at prices, especially over in Japan, and talk to a bunch of people, it seems like people don't really like the Rainbow Rare versions as much as the full art versions, despite the fact that they are actually a little bit rarer. They just don't look as cool. I'll be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, they just don't look as cool. But they are coming. And that does, of course, mean that there is going to be a Rainbow Rare of Willow as well. Now, what is interesting to note, although the full arts of the team leaders have been taken out of our set to be put in special packs, expect the Rainbow Rare to just be in there. So you can pull the regular and the Rainbow Rare, you just can't pull the full art. Slightly confusing. Yeah, honestly, it's a tiny bit confusing. But hey-ho, ladies and gentlemen, that's just the way it is. And then speaking of Rainbow Rares, we have Rainbow Rares of the V-Star/V-Maxes. So Mewtwo V-Star comes in as a Rainbow Rare, and spoiler alert, it gets a gold version too. We did expect this, honestly, because general rule is you get 1 gold V-Star per set, at least in Japan. Remember, we sometimes get multiples because we're doubling up on Japanese sets, or, sometimes trebling up. So that does happen. And essentially, Mewtwo was always going to be the big one from this particular set. So we were always going to be getting a gold Mewtwo. So you can get Mewtwo, or Rainbow Rare, or gold. How cool is that, ladies and gentlemen? The answer, pretty gosh darned cool. As for Dragonite, just the regular and the Rainbow Rare. But still, there's a Rainbow Rare version that's pretty gosh darn cool. And don't forget that there is an alternate art version in that same premium collection that gives us the alternate art of Dragonite V. So no, there isn't a gold version, but there are still 3 different versions if that's what you're into. And then Melmetal VMAX might be a VMAX, not a V-Star, but we know they get Rainbow Rares as well. So you know what? You've got a Rainbow Rare of this one too. How lovely. Now, in terms of gold cards, as I've already said, you get the Mewtwo V-Star. That's gold. That's very cool. It was what we expected, so no big issues there. And then, as I suspected, though was far from confirmed, there are 2 gold item cards. Firstly, we've got Egg Incubator. And this makes sense. This is one of those item cards that really is, it's very synonymous with Pokemon Go. It is one of those cards where you're like, oh, yeah, okay, no, that makes sense. Of course, we only saw Egg Incubator for the first time the other day. We saw it be kind of half shown off in a YouTube video. We've finally seen it now. I don't like the card because either you flip heads and get to search a basic Pokemon, or you flip tails and it goes onto your bench. Or you flip tails and it goes to the bottom of your deck. Both of which are really good effects, but I'm very much always going to want one or the other, so there's always going to be a 50-50 chance I get completely let down, and that's going to make me very sad indeed. Never mind. And then we get ourselves Lure Module as well, which is rather lovely. Obviously, this is another card which is, pretty synonymous with Pokemon Go. Nice little trainer card, lets each player reveal the top 3 cards of their deck and put all Pokemon into their hand. Helps your opponent as well. Thematically, wonderful card. I do rather suspect it's not going to see a huge amount of play. Now, of course, that does mean that we are not getting a gold Pokestop. And I know this is one a bunch of people wanted. And, of course, we've been getting gold stadiums lately. But Kato's been doing stadiums, and then Kato's been doing the gold stadiums. Pokestop is not a Kato stadium. And I'll be honest with you, it's one of the worst stadiums we've had in many sets, artwork-wise for me at least. So I'm not terribly upset. Were this a Kato stadium, I'd be calling out for a gold version, but it's not, so I'm fine. One thing that is worth pointing out, the lovely Immunity, Matthew Varai over on Twitter, has sat and done the numbers, and if you remember that the full art supporters are being taken out for our special sets, and that Full Art Mewtwo is being taken out for our Elite Trainer box, everything fits perfectly numerically. So it seems like, as suspected, we are getting the exact same run of secret rares as Japan are here. Although remember, not all of ours will be called secret rares. Full Art Pokemon won't be, but you know they still kind of are. You know what I'm talking about. And obviously we're losing those 4 promos. So there we go. That's Pokemon Go. That's what you need to know. And I think we kind of know everything at this stage. We know all the cards. We know all the secret rares. We know basically everything. And that's rad. Of course, Pokemon Go is out now, and I should have an opening for you early next week. And I, for one, am very happy indeed. But I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.